Have you suddenly detected a subtle disagreeable odor and wondered, might that be me? You're not alone, and there's no cause to feel embarrassed. In today's video, we're examining 8 surprising bathroom routines that, per health experts, can cause mature women to smell less pleasant despite their utmost efforts to remain tidy. Stay until the conclusion for simple, effective advice to keep you feeling invigorated, confident, and in tune with your body. Regardless of your years, you merit feeling vibrant and strong. Before we start, I'd appreciate your giving this video a like. That encouragement helps me keep delivering useful tips for aging elegantly. If you haven't joined yet, go ahead and press that subscribe button, plus activate the notification bell so you never skip another video. If you like this content, comment below. If not, type 0 so I know to enhance and produce something better for you. Let's dive in. Let's start with a topic that's quite personal: overusing cleansers in private regions. Ladies, let me share a personal story that changed how I view cleanliness. Years ago, I was fixated on washing every inch of my body with heaps of fragrant shower gels and cleansers. I focused extra on my intimate zones, certain that thorough scrubbing would result in top-notch freshness. I truly believed more bubbles equaled better cleanliness, and all those floral feminine items on store racks only strengthened that notion. But here's the catch. Nobody told me this method was causing more damage than good. Not my mother, not my pals, and surprisingly, not even my physician, until much later. The reality is that our private regions are naturally self-debating. The vagina, specifically, has a delicate internal network of helpful bacteria and a precisely balanced pH level, usually between 3.8 and 4.5. This equilibrium helps ward off infections and maintain natural wellness and scent control. It's like a finely tuned orchestra, each component playing its part to keep balance. We disrupt that balance when using harsh cleansers, strongly scented washes, or even gentle feminine products. These items are often packed with chemicals and scents that can wipe out beneficial bacteria and alter the vaginal pH balance. The outcome: odors, irritation, or worse, bacterial or yeast infections, not because we're dirty, but because we've overdone it and disturbed our body's equilibrium. I learned this the tough way after years of grappling with repeated unease and puzzlement about why my washing efforts weren't effective. Eventually, an honest talk with my gynecologist helped me gain clearer insight. The vagina doesn't require internal cleaning. It purifies itself naturally with mucus that expels debris and bacteria. Warm water is typically enough for the outer area or vulva. If you prefer a cleaner, pick one that's scent-free and pH balanced, specifically designed for external intimate use, and use it lightly, never internally. Wipes, douches, and sprays may pledge freshness, but they often bring irritants that can cause dryness. So, I suggest trusting your body's natural flow. It knows what to do. The less meddling, the healthier and fresher you'll feel. If something feels off or unusual, don't grab more cleanser. Consult your healthcare provider. Your body is wiser than you might realize. Next, let's discuss towels specifically. How often you clean them. When was the last time you washed your bath towel? If you're pausing to think, you're not alone. I used to drape mine up after a shower and assume it stayed fresh because I was fresh. But that assumption was far from correct. The stale smell, I began noticing, even after bathing, made me suspect my towel might be the offender. Here's why. Towels soak up moisture like sponges, and bacteria and fungi flourish in that warm, damp setting. Especially if your bathroom has poor air circulation, your towel becomes an ideal breeding spot for bacteria. Each time you use it, it gathers skin, bacteria, water, and other particles, and when reused, it transfers those right back onto your freshly washed skin. I used to use a towel for an entire week, thinking I was being environmentally conscious. It turns out I was unwittingly jeopardizing my skin's cleanliness. Skin specialists advise washing towels after each use. However, if your bathroom lacks ventilation, like no windows or a weak exhaust fan, it's best to wash them even more often, perhaps after every second use. One tactic that helped me was keeping 3 towels in rotation, 1 in use, 1 drying, and 1 clean and ready. This way, I'm never stuck using a damp, bacteria-filled towel. Also, always spread your towel out fully on a rack so it can dry properly. Don't crumple it up or toss it on a hook. If moisture remains a problem, consider placing a small dehumidifier in your bathroom to keep the area dry. Since adopting this habit, my bathroom smells fresher, my towels are cleaner, and that lingering scent is gone. It's a small change with big rewards. If you're still watching and finding this video useful, comment below. It shows me you're engaged, and I value your time. Let's get candid. Feet aren't typically our favorite topic. They're often tucked away in socks and shoes, and many neglect them. I know I did. My foot hygiene used to be an afterthought, just letting the shower water flow over them and perhaps a quick swipe with a soapy cloth. I never really cleaned between the toes or exfoliated properly. I figured if they didn't look dirty, they were fine. However, as I aged, I noticed a sour scent coming from my shoes, even on calm, sweat-free days. It was perplexing and embarrassing. Here's what I discovered. As we age, our skin's ability to shed dead cells slows down, and feet, especially areas like the heels and between the toes, are prone to buildup. Add in over 250,000 sweat glands, and it's clear why feet can become a hidden odor source. That quick rinse I thought was sufficient was allowing dead skin and moisture to pile up, giving bacteria a place to thrive. So, I revamped my approach entirely, and the results were remarkable. I dedicate at least a full minute to cleaning my feet. In every shower, I use a soft cloth and gentle scent-free soap, scrubbing all over, especially the soles, heels, and between each toe. Once a week, I exfoliate gently using a pumice stone or foot file to prevent dead skin buildup without irritating the skin. But what made a difference was drying thoroughly. After washing, I use a clean towel and ensure I get in between each toe to remove any remaining moisture. During warmer months or when wearing closed shoes, I sprinkle antifungal foot powder into my socks and shoes to keep everything fresh. Caring for your feet isn't just about controlling odor, it's about respecting the hardworking parts of your body that carry you through life. Neglect can lead to cracked skin, infections, or even more serious issues, especially for those managing conditions like diabetes. So, let's give our feet the attention they deserve. A little care goes a long way in maintaining comfort, cleanliness, and confidence. Here's something that might sound amusing at first: flushing the toilet with the lid up. I'll admit, I chuckled when I first heard about the potential consequences, but the science behind it is serious. When you flush with the lid up, you create what researchers call a toilet plume spray of tiny droplets containing bacteria, viruses, and other particles that can shoot into the air at high speed. Studies show these particles can travel up to 6 feet and linger in the air for an extended period. So, what happens to those particles? They settle on nearby surfaces: your toothbrush, skincare bottles, towel, and hairbrush. If you're standing nearby, they could land on your skin or be inhaled. The plume can also carry chemical residues when chemical cleaners or air fresheners are involved. It's not a pleasant thought, but the fix is simple. Just close the lid before flushing. Since I started doing this, I've noticed a fresher smelling bathroom and fewer issues with odd smells settling on my bathroom items. It's a quick act that prevents the spread of germs and helps your space stay pristine. A lid-down flush is a fast, effective way to maintain better bathroom hygiene. If you're still tuned in and finding this information valuable, please comment below so I know you're still here. Thank you again for spending time with me. Lastly, let's address a habit many of us have done without thinking: wearing the same underwear to bed. Picture this: it's the end of a long day. You've slipped into your cozy pajamas, wondering if you should change your underwear. After all, you weren't exercising or sweating, right? It seems harmless enough, but keeping the same pair daily can affect your comfort and hygiene. Throughout the day, your body produces sweat and oil and sheds skin, even when inactive. These substances, along with bacteria, collect in your underwear. When you sleep in that same pair, you're pressing all that against your skin in a warm, confined space for hours. Ideal conditions for bacteria to multiply and cause odor. If your underwear is made from synthetic materials like polyester, nylon, or spandex, it traps even more moisture. This can lead to skin irritation, discomfort, and increased odor by morning. So, what's the solution? Doctors recommend switching to a clean pair of breathable underwear before bed, or going without if you're comfortable. Let your body breathe overnight. These small mindful habits can significantly affect how fresh and comfortable you feel every day. Skin experts advise switching to a fresh, clean pair of underwear before bedtime, rather than sleeping in the same pair worn all day. The ideal choice is cotton or any breathable material that promotes airflow and helps wick moisture away from the body. For those open to it, skipping underwear entirely at night can be an even better option, allowing your skin to breathe freely. This practice can reduce irritation, keep sensitive areas drier, and help you feel refreshed and comfortable by morning. After adopting this habit, I noticed a subtle yet meaningful improvement in how I feel when I wake up. It's a small change that surprisingly feels indulgent and helps set a positive tone for the day ahead. Let's move to something often ignored: cleaning the bathroom trash bin. Most of us have overlooked this task without realizing its impact. I didn't think twice about the small trash bin next to my toilet for years. I used it for convenience. It held tissues, cotton swabs, hygiene items, and other miscellaneous items I tossed in regularly. My cleaning routine was basic: empty it once it was full, then forget about it. However, I had no idea this seemingly innocent-looking bin could quietly undermine my efforts to keep the bathroom clean. Here's the issue: even small trash bins can collect odors and bacteria if they're not cleaned consistently. Each item thrown away, whether a damp tissue or hygiene product, carries tiny amounts of moisture and organic material. When all of this is trapped in a covered bin, it creates a humid, warm environment perfect for bacterial growth. Eventually, this leads to a faint yet persistent smell in the bathroom, regardless of how spotless the surfaces appear. I was genuinely surprised to discover that my supposedly clean bathroom had a subtle but noticeable odor that I had grown accustomed to. The culprit wasn't my cleaning products or habits, but the neglected bin hiding in plain sight. Fortunately, fixing this was simple and required little time or effort. Now I make a point to empty the trash bin every few days, whether it looks full or not. Once a week, I thoroughly wipe it down using a disinfectant spray or vinegar-based cleaner to kill bacteria and eliminate odors. For added freshness, I sprinkle a little baking soda or add a few drops of essential oil at the bottom of the bin. This entire process takes less than 5 minutes, yet it has completely transformed the atmosphere of my bathroom. The space consistently smells fresh, and multiple guests commented on how clean and welcoming it feels. It may seem minor, but cleaning your bathroom bin can significantly affect overall hygiene. Next, let's discuss an item we often overlook: our cherished bathrobes. Imagine stepping out of a warm, soothing shower, feeling clean and renewed. You reach for your familiar bathrobe, wrapping yourself in its soft, cozy warmth. Comforting embraced, it feels like returning home after a long day. But here's a question that might surprise you. When did you last wash that robe? If you're anything like I was, you may not even recall the last time it was laundered. I never considered bathrobes too frequently deceive us because we wear them post-shower when we feel clean. It's easy to assume that they must stay clean since we put them on after washing. Unfortunately, that's far from the truth. Let me explain why. After a shower, your skin is still damp, and that moisture transfers directly into the fabric of your robe. Those robes absorb moisture. If you leave the robe hanging in a cramped, poorly ventilated area, that moisture gets trapped. This damp setting becomes a breeding ground for bacteria, mold, and mildew within the fabric. Even over time, the robe may develop a faint, musty scent you don't immediately detect. Ever notice a strange odor on your skin despite having just bathed? You might have suspected the odor source could be your robe itself. You might blame your cleanser or deodorant, but the unwashed fabric often transfers the smell back onto your body, negating the freshness you strive to achieve in your hygiene routine. Thankfully, the solution was straightforward and very effective once I recognized the issue. The fix was simple. I now wash my robes every week without fail, with no exceptions. To simplify the routine, I purchased a second robe to alternate between the two while one was drying. I also hang my robe outdoors in a well-ventilated spot to ensure good airflow, such as on an open rack, rather than stuffed behind the bathroom door. Properly airing the robe and drying it between uses helps curb the growth and prevents unpleasant odors. Now, my robes smell clean, fresh like laundry, unlike something abandoned in a closet. It's a slight tweak that elevates and makes my entire post-bath routine feel luxurious and more indulgent. Wearing a clean robe that complements your fresh skin is a tiny pleasure that uplifts your daily routine. Day adopting. Once you embrace this habit, you'll question how you ever tolerated the "I'll wash it later" mindset. If you're still here with me, enjoying finding these tips and useful insights, drop a comment with the number 3 below, to let me know you're still engaged. Thanks so much for being here. I truly value your time, presence. Finally, let's explore a hygiene tip that completely transformed my shaving routine: cleaning your armpits properly after shaving. Like many others, I used to think shaving my armpits automatically made me cleaner and fresher. After all, removing hair reduces the space where sweat and bacteria can cling, right? While that's partly true, there's a vital detail many miss that I overlooked. When we shave, we're not just trimming hair. The razor also scrapes off dead skin, deodorant remnants, and some surface bacteria. That might seem positive, but here's the problem. You must understand all that debris doesn't just disappear, it lingers on your skin unless you wash it away. If left there, you leave it, and the mix of dead cells, skin cells, and product residue becomes a perfect breeding ground for odor-causing microbes. Bacteria, consequently. This means you might still end up with armpits that don't feel or smell fresh, despite shaving. Experts highlight that the armpit area is a bacteria-dense zone. It's a warm, damp environment space that germs adore, and shaving can disturb them if not followed by thorough care. Fortunately, addressing this hygiene issue is easy if you add one extra step to your routine. Immediately after shaving, gently rinse your armpits with warm water to clear away debris and residue. Then, use a soft scrub with a gentle washcloth to cleanse lightly. Be gentle, as the skin is tender after shaving. This removes any remaining skin cells, bacteria, or soap deodorant bits that the razor loosened, dislodged. After rinsing gently, pat your skin dry with a clean towel and let the area breathe for a few minutes. I use this time for my facial skincare, routine cleansing, toning, etc., while my armpits air dry naturally. Ever since I began this practice, doing this, my armpits stayed fresher for longer, and that lingering scent I used to notice is gone. This quick post-shave rinse has made a game changer in how clean I feel all day. It's a minor tweak adjustment but delivers a whole new level of personal hygiene and cleanliness.